the duty if I do not do that which is expected of me. And this was the same kind of argument here. But the police officers and the prosecutors were negligent. They didn't act willfully. They didn't act intentionally. So the question was, is it possible to negligently breach a duty that you owe to someone else? And the court says the common law as it developed at that stage does not allow for it. And it ordered absolution from the instance. What is absolution from the instance? Now you have to do it. Absolution from the instance is where the court said, yeah, I can't really do. You didn't really make out a case and you didn't really refute the case, so just start again if you have more evidence. You can come back at a later date. But the principles of the law of delict were not developed to the point where one could say that in weighing up the responsibility to have the duty of care of the person, that actually amounted to a breach of that duty. So, here the court says, and the argument was that Section 7.2, respect, protect, promote, and full. Section 39.2 requires us to interpret the common law in a manner that actually furthers the spirit, purpose, and object of the Bill of Rights. So the first thing is that the court says is we need to look at the common law, and that's why I want you to go and read this case very, very carefully, so that you understand what the common law of delict is in relation to the breach of a duty, and when you can claim damages. I know we're studying constitutional law, but we need to know what is the effect of constitutional law on the law of duty. Okay. So the court says that we follow two stages here. We say, does the common law reflect the constitutional standard? Does it, in other words, promote the spirit, purport, and object of the Bill of Rights? If it does not, how do we develop the common law to give effect to the spirit, purport, and objects of the Bill of Rights? Does it reflect the standard of the common law? How do we give effect to reflect the standard of the common law? And then the court goes on to say that there is an objective normative values framework that is embodied in the Constitution. And we have to look at this objective normative values framework and determine whether the common law reflects that objective normative values framework. That's paragraph 39 and 40. Now, here, the court says in paragraph 43, to determine whether there is a legal duty owed to someone, you have to engage in a proportionality exercise involving weighing up competing interests or considerations, and to determine whether it is reasonable to place an obligation on someone in the particular circumstances. So in this instance, the court says, Section 7.2, the state must respect, protect, promote, and reform. There is an obligation. And the police officers and the prosecutors carry that obligation to protect women. So if we look at the determination of whether there is a duty and whether that duty was breached, we have to look at what is the Constitution, what does the objective normative values framework say, or how does it impact on the proportionality exercise to determine whether there is a duty to act or not. And the court comes to the conclusion that the matter needs to be determined again by the High Court to determine whether there was a breach of the duty. To determine in the first instance whether there was a duty, and to determine whether there was a breach of the duty. Now I can tell you, Commissioner was attacked in 95. This matter came to the Constitutional Court after it's been in the Cape High Court, Supreme Court of Appeal in 2001. I think she was finally awarded damages in 2012. And Lucia came out of prison last year or the year before. Now, the wheels of justice don't turn very fast. But Carmichelle's case is a landmark case in illustrating the impact of that objective normative values framework on how the law can be developed in line with the provisions of the Constitution. And the nuance really is in how do we determine whether there's a duty and whether that duty is being breached. The court says, now part of that determination of whether there's a duty and a determination of the duty is being breached, we have to call the Constitution back. We no longer just look at it without any reference to the Constitution. Okay, please go and read the case. I think we may have to go through it again because it is a really important case in cementing the approach to what do we do in relation to the common law to bring it in line with the Constitution.
Udumo 71.4 FM olwakho nawo.
Kusukela ngesikhathi sokubusa kwabezizwe, iNingizimu Afrika ibiyizwe lapho khona iningi belingaphansi kwengcindezi.
Thina silwela amalungelo wethu, thina silwela amalungelo. Thina silwela amalungelo wethu, thina silwela.
Ya nganza kwethuke ngiyathemba nisekhona. Kanza kwethuke labe ngithi angiveze nami engikutholayo ukuthi ke mayelana ke nomlando noma mayelana nomthetho izinto zihamba kanjani. Ngiyathemba ngelinye ilanga sophinda futhi sihlangane futhi sithi ukuphana ulwazi. Kuvumelekile futhi ukuthi uphikisane noma ucomment ngalo udaba kadolizwa lapho bekuchazwa khona imithetho ethizeni, application of the bill of South Africa ya into kanjalo nje. Ungakwazi ukuthi ukhulume usho ukuthi chala kube wrong, chala kube right, chala okanye cha konke nje akusebenzi, siyabonisana siyakhana. Ulwazi lolu oluthathwe ndawo labeshicelwe khona ngase ngithi ngiluveze nje obala lapho khona sineyinkinga njengoba phela manje sineyinkinga yezomthetho. Umthetho esinokuphikisana ngawo, abanye bethi ayilala, abanye bethi ayivuke, abanye bethi umthetho uhamba kahle, abanye bethi umthetho awukho right. Kodwa egcineni sisonke siyadinga iqiniso futhi siyadinga ukwazi okuyiqiniso ukuthi ngabe kuhamba kanjani. So ngeke saphumula sohlezi siphenya nesivundulula noma sifuna okuyiqiniso mayelana nomthetho waseNingizimu Afrika njengoba nje izinto zinje. Kanza kwethu anginishiye sophinde sibonane ngokuzayo.
Udumo 71.4 FM olwakho nawo.